And the way you asked this question is, are Saints movies better than Lord of the Rings? That's how you asked this question.
Yep. Yes, obviously.
I'm so
Obviously,
sorry.
that's the question.
I added more words, but we're going to get right into this. I want to know, Timothy Flanders, what you think.
Well, yeah, every Saints movie is better than Lord of the Rings. I don't understand why it's
What?
a question.
So give me an example of a movie about a saint that's better than Lord of the Rings. Go.
Well, let's just
Cabrini.
let's just talk metaphysically speaking. A saint is what a saint is the fullness of the divine grace working in human nature. That's what a saint is. So we could say that a saint is encountering the greatest reality of humanity that can exist.
Okay.
So that's what a saint is.
Okay. Agree. Okay. I'm with you.
So just as a metaphysical reality, a saint is there's an abyss of metaphysical value of a saint above any story that we could make up. So
Outside of a person of sanctity, outside a person that is of sainthood.
So just in all the qualities of film that we're talking about with the Gabriel Code and when Pius XII says elevating the human nature, so writing a story about the saint will always make it better than the Lord of the Rings.
Well, how can you say it always make it better?
Well,
If I say I'm going to make a documentary about the Trinity and there's no higher mystery, but I botch it, like I let my daughter do it because she wants to make a film. It's a film about the Trinity. How can you get better than that? That seems to be what you're saying. It's better because of the metaphysical abstraction of what it should be about.
Which, because I go back.
Go ahead.
I go back to what Cameron asked was, okay, Cabrini. Cabrini's.
I haven't seen Cabrini. I heard that it's this bad. I mean, the same movie that I know pretty well is There Be Dragons, about Saint Jose Escrivá.
Okay.
Which is better than Lord of the Rings. But
I've not seen that. Have you
I
seen
think
that?
you could make a basically decent movie. You could make an average movie about any saint, and it would be better than Lord of the Rings. If you made a bad movie about a saint, perhaps it would be the same or worse than the Lord of the Rings.
Have you seen?
Perhaps Cabrini is like that. I don't know.
Have you seen?
No, I haven't.
Have you seen Song of Bernadette?
No.
Well, Fiddlesticks.
Not Cabrini. Yeah, I haven't seen
I've
Dragons.
seen Liberating a Continent, which is a documentary about Saint John Paul II.
Mm-hmm.
That's better than Lord of the Rings. It's a documentary.
Have you seen Two Popes?
Would you stop it?
But I mean, from a literary standpoint, I'm just saying like an average movie about a saint is better than Lord of the
But
Rings.
no.
According to the principles that we're saying.
There's no way.
No.
There's no
Why
way
not?
because an average movie about a saint doesn't tend me towards the good. So I've watched Cabrini. It's about Saint Cabrini.
So would you say that's like average, or is it Dagon or great? Because I thought you said that it made Cabrini into a feminist, basically. Like a feminist
I
thing.
would say that yes, my opinion would be that the quality of the movie was great, as far as the story. It's a period piece, so they nailed the costume, they nailed the time period, and I mean the acting, everything was there, but the power she wielded seemed to come from, well, it's because I'm a woman, right? Not from that I'm a woman of God or from God.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd describe it. I think I would describe it in the average sense. It's like it does some goods in it.
Yeah, so true. Yeah, no, it's not as if this is the worst thing ever made. There are goods in it because it does show.
It just misses so many things.
Right. So it could be an average film, but there's no way that moves me to the good like Return of the King.
So would you say that Cabrini, on average, Cabrini would make a viewer go look up a Catholic saint, then Lord of the Rings would make anyone who's not Catholic go look up any Catholic topic whatsoever?
I don't think looking up a Catholic topic is the litmus test.
Well, you
though.
said move me to the good.
Yeah. So forming of virtue. Like when you look at the character of Aragorn or Gandalf or characters who are flawed and either overcome good or succumb to evil, like there's no story quite like that for me of how noble those characters are. I mean, we've talked about characters that are very noble, like in The Mission and others. And those films, I mean, The Mission's probably a good example. Let's say that since we've all seen that, right? So you have Father Scar, what's it, Jeremy Irons?
Yeah.
Scar.
Man, I wish I could remember his name in that movie.
Father Jeremy Irons. We can say he's a saint because he was martyred.
Yeah, right.
Right? Can we say he's a saint? That's our starting ground.
In that sense, even though,
And
yes.
I mean,
even
you're saying saints movies, so I would say an actual saint would be the.
Okay. I see
okay,
what you're
so
saying.
let's say average movie about a saint. Here's what I say. I'm writing a diagram here that no one can see.
Oh.
An average movie moves people kind of, not directly, but indirectly, maybe an inch or two towards a really great good, is what you're saying. You're saying it's a really great good. The saint, you should be a saint. If you're not a saint, that's a tragedy. If you are a saint, that's the greatest victory. Saints are awesome. But an average movie is only averagely moving few people to the good. Lord of the Rings, for me, is like a Trojan horse of Catholicism. People don't even know they're taking in Catholic values and virtues, but it completely transcended the cultural conversation. Like, everyone's into it. Yeah, there can be misfirings, but we're talking about an excellent transcendent film that is steeped in Catholic values. And so that's, maybe you're saying, okay, virtues is a lower good than sanctity or sainthood, but to move the world towards virtues versus moving pockets of people kind of towards sainthood is why I think Lord of the Rings is better.
To me, this is like saying, is there any books that are better than the Bible? I mean, like, this is like, we're talking about metaphysical abysses.
No, that's like that's a false analogy, because the Bible is divinely inspired, but movies are always fallible.
Well,
you'd have to compare a fallible book with a fallible book.
Well, the stories of the saints are in the liturgy of the church. So right there, we're already talking about a metaphysical reality that is totally high above any story you could make up. So it's just like, this is, to me, it's like, yeah, it moved more people. That's great. I'm all about that. But in terms of like better, what brings more good to the world?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question.
You know, the divine, the difference between divine grace, the metaphysical difference between divine grace or sacramental grace is infinitely more than any natural good that you get inspired by some natural thing. It's the difference between
but we're not, on one hand, we're not saying this movie gives sacramental grace. You're not saying that. So the movie doesn't have infinite value. The movie only has value insofar as it moves people towards the sacraments. So maybe that's your argument. You're saying
I think I'm just stuck on the just looking at the subject that we're talking about, the thing itself that we're talking about. We're talking about saints, and we're talking about fictional characters. And there's stories in both cases. But I guess I'm just stuck on that we've got a vast abyss between the subject matter that makes the first subject matter so much higher than the second that I can't even put them in the same category.
I see your point. No, I see your point. So we could say, here's a book about a saint, or a film about a saint, or about even our Lord himself, or the Blessed Virgin Mary. But yet, just because the movie is about a saint doesn't mean that the substance of that film is going to equate into action.
On the one hand, you have the Passion of the Christ. On the other hand, you have the Last Temptation of Christ. They're both about Christ, and they both have the same central figures. And they both have that.
I think a better analogy would be, because the Last Temptation of Christ is blasphemous.
Yes.
So I would maybe compare, and I haven't really seen Jesus of Nazareth or like the Protestant Jesus movies, but I mean, I would say the Protestant Jesus movies, as long as they're not heretical, even though maybe they're like average in terms of literary film quality, they're infinitely better than any other subject matter you could possibly put on screen because it's Jesus.
Okay, if
And I
we're
think
talking
you would
about
say something
Jesus,
similar about the saints too.
if you're talking about Jesus, I might agree with you.
Well, the saints, what is the saints are the body of Christ.
We are bringing back movie night. Wow, watch out. Knives are out. You want to get VidAngel. Trust me. Because I've never seen this movie, but if your knife is out, is that Michael Caine? Who's the old white guy in the middle? We don't know.
I forgot his name.
Okay. Is that the most interesting man ever on the Heineken commercials? No.
No.
Go to vidangel.com, use promo code CRUSADE. Crew, C-R-U, SADE, S-A-D-E. You're going to need this to take out some smoking. There's too many drugs and smoking and knives out. And there's too many knives, actually. So take them out, and you're going to want to... We lost him.
So we're talking about the head and the members here. Obviously, the members are created, but the members are the members of Christ.
Okay, imagine there was a sci-fi film, because I know you love sci-fi. There's a Star Trek episode.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
that
here we go.
You would say perfectly encapsulates the martyrdom of St. Maximilian Kolbe in a way that 10 times, 100 times as many people can now appreciate the value of laying down your life for a friend. Now, this is a sci-fi universe. There's no canonizations. There's no sanctifying grace. But that's not really how you should compare these two things. We should compare them by the goods that they achieve. Like we look at Lord of the Rings, we say, we can see virtue over there, even though there's no such thing as sanctifying grace. And so we compare the goods, you know, the sacrifices that are laid down over here versus over here. And so in that example of, you know, a Star Trek episode, there might be a way to tell that story that is more palatable to literally billions of people. Whereas if you make a Maximilian Kolbe movie, it might just appeal to only hundreds of people.
To me, this is the difference between you're saying that truth is the opinion of the powerful. That's what you're saying in your argument just now. It's like this appeals to 1,000 people. This appeals to one person. But to me, it's either this is presenting a metaphysical value which is infinitely higher than 1,000 people with this little value.
Well, even you would say in Star Trek, the value of family and fatherhood, like you assign those values to Star Trek, even though there's no such thing as sanctifying grace in Star Trek. But you're still saying there's real marriage, real fatherhood. So we can look at these films and still find those objective truths.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But we can't retreat into the idea that, well, in the metaphysic, there's no such thing as the Catholic Church and sanctifying grace and saints. It's like, but still you have the characters like Aragorn who are willing to lay down his life for a friend. And that is a truth still, even though it's in a fantasy world.
I'm not denying I love Star Trek. I love Lord of the Rings. All these things are great. I'm just like, you just can't compare them with the Saints. It's like it's major leagues and minor leagues to me.
But it's Saints movies.
Yeah. I guess that's the thing that, Tim, it's blowing my mind because there's just poorly done movies.
Yeah, sure.
Poorly done movies that don't move the needle. It could still be, for example, is Oscar Romero a saint? Isn't he a saint?
I think so.
Yeah, Oscar Romero is a saint. So I watched this documentary on Oscar Romero. It's like, okay, here's this thing. Like he was shot. He was killed, murdered while he was celebrating the holy sacrifice of the Mass. I learned about him. I watched the documentary. It didn't move me closer to Christ. It didn't move me farther away from him. It made me appreciate what he did and why he did it and what was going on in El Salvador at the time and et cetera, et cetera. But when I watch a movie that like The Mission, let's go back to The Mission, and I'm literally moved to the point of, am I willing to be like Jeremy Irons' character and hold that monstrance in the face of, or am I going to fight? Am I going to love? And there's, to me, it's hands down, a movie like The Mission makes me think about how am I living my life for Christ, not just watching a biopic movie about a saint. Just because it's a saint, that yes, that individual has achieved sainthood for a reason, but it doesn't mean that movie, that film, has achieved the level of moving an audience towards sanctity or towards union with God. Do you see my point?
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but and again, I'm not saying, like, I agree with you. The saints are up here, and these make-believe people are down here.
But
100%.
as soon as you attach a movie to them, they have different values,
Right.
and they can have different places on the list, like how high we put them. Like if you take a painting that's not religious but captures a sense of human failure or something, like there's a painting of a father like killing his son. I forget what the painting was, but it so effectively shocks you into like, I could become that guy.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, that is the fate of people. Like, you can become that versus a nice, rosy religious image drawn by my daughter that's nice. And it's like, I feel like what you're saying is because that's about a religious thing, it's automatically a better art piece than that painting, because that painting doesn't have a religious figure in it.
Well, just so I understand you, Cameron, you're saying if there's an average Jesus movie, that's better than The Lord of the Rings, right?
I don't know if I'm ready to say that.
I'm not
I would
ready
say
to
with
say that.
Saints movies, I'd be more confident saying that.
Okay. I mean, because I would say because it's about Jesus, it just puts it in a different category of art because of the value that it's carrying. And I
That it could carry.
Yeah,
See,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the issue, because we have this scale from Last Temptation to the Passion and everything in between.
And the popes have written about this. The popes have said that maybe even like certain movies don't need to be made. Like there's like, hey, just because you're doing a religious movie, you could still do that wrong. Like the popes have written about this. So we have to handle those properly and not just be like, well, we just threw something together and because it was about Jesus, give it 5 gold stars. I mean, the popes have made that clear. Like there is, this art form is so unique and so new and as well. So I guess I just want to tie in what has been written in Vigilante Cura and Miranda Proris in The Ideal Film about the saints have made this clear that we can't just throw something together. It's got to be done properly, even on a religious topic.
I think that the Lord of the Rings movies are going to be toast once we talk about the Passion of the Christ.
Oh, 100%.
We'll have to
because
talk
it was
about
done
that.
right.
Yeah.
It was done on a level that we are just, it's blowing our minds. 100%.
Yeah, I really think there's a lot of value, like in the list, the Lord of the Rings movies are higher than some of these Saints movies that I've seen because of the Trojan horse effect. Like people don't know, like the popes have said you gotta speak to the multitudes, not to the, minimal group, not groups. It's not little groups, it's multitudes. How do you speak to the world? You can make Star Trek and make it the best family story ever.
Yeah.
I've never seen Star Trek. Did I say Star Wars?
No, you said Star Trek.
Jar Jar, you can make Jar Jar Binks a hero. So I think we disagree, but that's okay. I would love to hear what other people think.
I really want Tim to watch Cabrini, and then I want to challenge him on that.
So do you not have any Saints movies that would be better than Lord of the Rings that you know?
I can't think of any that I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've seen
Because we've seen Song of Bernadette, Man for All Seasons, Cabrini.
Okay.
I've seen documentaries that are like, that's nice and I learned something, but moving the needle. Yeah, it's like if the popes have said that the purpose of film is the formation of the moral personality, a film can't just be milk toast and like, okay, I learned that this saint did this or that. It's like they have to move. They play on the emotions, and they've said that we make decisions based on our emotions. That's what Pius XII said that. And so to captivate the emotions and then move them towards a good, and they don't even realize they're moving to good, virtuous Catholic things. There's a lot of value to
Great
that.
topic, though.
Yeah, I would agree with you that Lord of the Rings is more effective, but J.R.R. Tolkien said that the Lord of the Rings is a mythology for the English people, is what he said. There's not really a mythology for the English. He said the Greeks have a mythology, the Norse mythology, but the English don't really have a mythology. And the mythology is necessary to sort of re-enchant the English people who are post-industrial. And then the Christian message can actually penetrate, because then they believe in good and evil. They believe in good magic, bad magic. So I would agree with you that, it moves the needle more than like an average saint movie. But I would just say that the value of forming that moral personality is just greater because of the subject matter.
All right, what about a film where it's just we set up a camera and it's Father Gregory Pine talking about a subject, and it's perfectly written, and he's talking about the Trinity, and it's like subject matter, highest it can be, perfectly delivered, doesn't move anyone. Very few people.
Well, I think that you have right there, the way that you're framing that question is what is subjectively satisfying. Because like I have the von Hildebrand aesthetic philosophy is the way that I'm approaching this. And that's why I said the metaphysical value of these individual things. Because as Dante said, God is the love that moves the world. And so to speak of the Trinity, the most sublime mystery upon which all other mysteries and all other goods, all other truths, all other beauties are based, of course, yes, it's always going to trump everything, no matter how bland it is, because of the subject matter.
Well, I think that movies need to attract you towards the good. That's their purpose, to attract you towards the good. And a philosophical talk will teach you truths, but it's not going to attract you towards them. Attract your will.
Yeah. Well, what we're dealing with is the aesthetic, the tension is in aesthetics between the objective and the subjective, because obviously there's a subjective component and there's an objective component. And I'm talking about the objective value of a thing, and one needs to have a subjective attraction to that objective value, and one needs to be formed towards seeking the highest good. So I guess I'm focusing on the objective aspect of it, even though I'm not denying the subjective aspect of it. But I mean, I agree with the main point that you're saying.
Yeah.
I certainly would agree that objectively, this film this saint objectively is greater than a made up story. Like, yeah, I mean, I totally am with you on that. But
I don't think I agree with that.
I would, well, the reality is,
you have to look at the content of the
yeah,
the film.
No. But my point is, objectively, the saint or Christ himself will trump, as far as
I know what you're saying.
The subject of that. But the issue is how is that gonna move people? And I think that's the beauty of Lord of the Rings, is it's moved people to like, wow, that I never would have thought of it that way, but it's moving this way because of how the story was told and how it was done. If you liked that clip, which I'm sure you did, then check out our other clips. And don't forget to go into the comments section and hype this bad boy. Don't make me get fat cardinal. Hype it now.